Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my June project pan update. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and link you to the introduction to my spring project pan up in the cards if you would like to check that out. But this is going to be a pretty quick one. I'm just going to go through the items in my project, let you know how they're doing, show you some progress pictures, and set some goals for the month of June. So we're going to go ahead and start off with my one empty from my project, which is this Tarte C Hydroflex foundation. This was just a little mini size. This is in the shade 14N Fair Light Neutral, and I did finish this back on May 14th. I used it a total of 6 times in May for a total of 18 times, and it's officially empty. Now, I was going to swap this one out for the one that I was going to use for my summer project starting in July. However, the item I was going to switch in was this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, and this has gone bad. So the texture of this is not the same. This is quite thick and goopy now, if you can see that. And this was super serumy and runny. So obviously it's gone bad, but I'm going to go ahead and just show you on my hand. Like, the texture is just not good. It's really, really thick. Like, you can see how it's like coming out of the dropper, and that is not the texture that this is supposed to be. So this has clearly gone bad. This did have SPF in it, so I'm wondering if that's part of why it went bad. But when you spread it out, it just looks terrible on the skin, and yeah, it's just not gonna work. So I instead obviously am throwing that one out. I did purchase a new foundation. It is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation, not the tinted moisturizer, but the actual foundation, which I'm enjoying quite a lot. But this one, yeah, not so much, y'all. So just be warned, if you have this, it goes bad really fast. I just got this like probably July or August of last year, and it's already bad. So just a note, if you've got that, keep an eye on it, because it does not last very long. So obviously, instead of swapping anything in the place of this one, I am just working with 7 products for the month of June, because this was the only other one that I really wanted to get done. It was the last remaining foundation in my collection. We've already discussed that it is leaving because it's gone bad. All right, next up, I've got the 2 items that I have been using as cheek products, and the first one is this Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick. It looks like this. Here is the picture of the progress. I did use this a total of 9 times in May, and it got some decent use. This one is, you know, a lot of product. So the way I apply it is I put it on my hand like this. I put my brush into it and then put it on my cheeks. So that's how I'm applying it. Maybe that's a little bit wasteful, but I do use everything that's on my hand. So yes, 9 uses, not too shabby. Obviously, I'm not going to be panning this year, but it is nice to get some use out of this one because I have had it for a little while and it was kind of getting neglected. The other lipstick that I am currently using as a blush is this Too Faced lipstick in the shade Birthday Suit. It looks like this. Here's the progress picture. I used this one a total of 8 times. What I typically do is that I go between them, so I'll use the Milk one, then I use the Too Faced, then the Milk, then the Too Faced. That's how I'm getting both of these used at like an equal rate. So this one was 8 uses. But yeah, hopefully I can keep that going, at least get some decent usage out of it. I'm kind of thinking that I might try to actually pan this by the end of the year. We'll play that by ear. But yes, I do really like this shade as a blush, and I'm happy to continue using it for another month and see how much progress I can get. All right, the next item that I have is this Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pictures on the screen here. You can see there's been very minimal progress. Here is what it's looking like in person, if you will. And again, it's got a slight dip, but I only used this one time in the month of May, so obviously you're not going to get much use out of it. And my goal is not to pan this. My goal is just to make sure that it's getting a little bit more love than it would if it were just sitting in my drawers, which I do feel like it has done. I have already used this twice in June, so we'll see what it looks like at the end of the month. Maybe I can expand that dip a little bit, but there's no way I'm going to hit pan on this, and I am okay with that. My next item is a lip balm. It is the Bite Agave Lip Butter Balm. It comes in a container like this, and then it twists out like this. Now, this actually broke off, so I just pressed it back down into there, so I'm being very careful and only rolling out like the smallest amount. But I did draw the line, so here's what it looked like. I did not use this as many times in May as I had in April. I only used this a total of 8 times, so the progress was not quite as good, but I still feel like I can finish this by the end of June and move it on out of my collection. This is very, very melty, if you will. It's very soft, so as I said, I have to be careful and only roll out like the tiniest amount for exactly what I need, because this definitely is a very soft product. So I enjoy this. I have it on right now, but yes, 8 times in May. The goal is going to be to completely finish this by the end of June. The next item that I have is this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade OK, and it looks like this in the container. Here's the pictures. If you can see, I do have the tiniest bit of pan in this product. So here's what we're looking like. If you can see, it's got the littlest bit of pan right there on the side. So my goal for June is just going to be to expand that, perhaps clear out that little area just right here at the top. We'll see, but I did use this a total of 5 times in May. Again, this is not one I was planning on completely panning, just trying to get a little more use out of it, which I have managed to do. So we'll see if I can't expand that pan a little bit in June and then call this done for the year. The next item that I have is a perfume. This is the Coach Poppy perfume. I used this a total of 14 times. So this one I have been tracking on the side with nail polish. You can see it's a little bit under where I marked it at the very start of the month because I have used this a couple of times already in June, but I did use this 14 times. I am going to finish this up this month and get it on out of my collection. I actually quite like this scent, so I could see myself purchasing like a larger size of it at some point, but not right now because I have plenty of perfumes to work through in the meantime. And the last item that I have is this SkinCeuticals Hydrating B5 Mask. I used this a total of 4 times. So here are the lines of progress. If you can sort of see it, it's kind of light, but yes, it is slightly below the green line because I have used it once already in June. But yeah, that's what we're looking like. I feel like that's a pretty good amount of usage. It's probably going to take me 2 more months to finish this, so June and July, but then this should also be out of my collection, which is really good because I have had this for a long time and it's just time to get it finished. So 4 times in May. Hopefully I can do at least the same, maybe 1 more time in June. I only use this once a week though, so it'll just depend on how the weeks lay on the calendar, if there's 4 Fridays or 5 Fridays. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about some goals that I have for the last month of this spring project pan. Obviously the first one is going to be to finish up the Coach perfume and the Bite lip balm. I also want to try to expand the pan on the ColourPop shadow and get half of the amount of the SkinCeuticals mask finished. So those are some usage goals. I feel like they are attainable. I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job with this spring project pan. Hopefully I can roll 3 items out of my collection. I've already started kind of thinking about what I'm going to want to bring in for the summer one. I haven't quite made up my mind yet, but yes. Usage goals for 3 of these. 2 of them hopefully will be finished. 1 of them will hopefully get a nice amount of use. And then the spring project pan will be a success. So in my next video, I am going to wrap up the spring one and introduce my summer product. So look for that at the beginning of July. And that's all I've got for you today. So this was a quick one, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.